Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to take your photography to the next level by shooting in manual mode instead of automatic mode. Today I'm using the Canon Rebel T7i with the 50mm f1.8 lens, and I'm just going to be going over a few of the most important parts of learning to shoot your photos in manual mode. The first thing you're going to want to do when you turn your camera on is switch the dial from A for auto, where all the settings are chosen by the camera, to M for manual, where you are able to manipulate the settings yourself. When you get to this screen, there are three main aspects you want to focus on, and those are aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. When you change these three features, you are able to manipulate photos in so many different ways. Let's start with the basics. What do these words mean? The aperture is the space in the camera lens where light is able to pass through. By changing the aperture, you are increasing and decreasing the size of the opening in the lens. The aperture is represented by f-stops, for example, f16, f5.6, or f1.8. The shutter speed is the length of time the lens of the camera stays open when you take the photo. By changing the shutter speed, you are changing how fast or slow the camera is taking the photo, therefore changing how much light is being let in. It is represented by seconds or fractions of a second, ranging from long shutter speeds of multiple seconds to fast shutter speeds of 1/6000th of a second. So, what are these different settings mainly used for? The aperture is used to create depth of field in your image. Depth of field is how blurry or sharp the background of your image is in comparison to the main subject. Using a low aperture such as f1.8 will create a narrow depth of field, therefore giving your image a blurry background. Using a high aperture such as f11 or f16 will make the entire image appear in focus and sharp. Shutter speed is helpful in how you want to capture moving subjects. If you are capturing someone playing a sport, someone running, you're going to want to use a really fast shutter speed. But if you're capturing something like a waterfall where you want to have the effect of the water falling, a long exposure shot, you're going to want to use a really slow shutter speed. The ISO should be chosen based on where you are shooting and what light is available to you. You should always try to use the lowest ISO that you can because high ISOs give your photos a grainy look. On your camera, you will also find aperture priority mode represented by AV and shutter priority mode represented by TV. These two modes are great ways to get familiar with what changing each setting will do to your photos. In each mode, you can select only the aperture or only the shutter speed that you would like to manipulate, and the camera will adjust the other two settings for you. I also recommend that in manual mode, you use Auto ISO. Auto ISO will give you an ISO based on the location you're shooting, and you can choose the other two settings. This all may seem really complicated at first, but the best way to learn how to use manual mode is to go out and practice. Once you get the hang of how each feature works, you will be able to take amazing photos using manual mode. Thanks for watching!